Dazzling Gleam. Okay, but Munkidori takes it just fine thanks to that wonderful poison typing. That's oh so useful. Finally, we poisoned something in this video. Just regular poison. So that was, I think, I think that means that was the Sludge Wave poison chance and not the Toxic Chain poison chance. Toxic Chain still not activating a single time. Munkidori just gets wiped out by Precipice Blades, but like so does the rest of my team. So what am I going to do about it? Hello, gamers. It is once again time for VGC Legends. It's the series where I spin a wheel, I get a random legendary Pokemon, I build a team quickly around that legendary Pokemon, and I try it out on the Regulation I ladder. I make some good teams, I swear. I make some bad teams, we definitely know that. Probably most of them end up somewhere in the middle of that range. I do this because I like every legendary Pokemon, and I want to make sure that it gets its due. I like legendary Pokemon as a concept, is really what I mean there. I upload this right now every day that I don't have something else planned at 5 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time, because I waited a long while for a double restricted format to do this in, and then they announced Regulation I for not very long, and there are a lot of legendaries to get through. And I also do this because speed building a bunch of different teams creates a lot of different fun situations, and maybe teaches me some things along the way. No need to mention Generation 2 anymore, because it did finally get on the board last video, but let's just spin the wheel and see what is next. Looks like we're going to stop on Gen 9 this time. There are a lot of Gen 9 legendaries left, but Munkidori, once called the worst legendary Pokemon by Wolfglick himself, is the pick for today. Let's see how that turns out. Alright, so Munkidori, it is true that it's not great. It has a few things going for it, I suppose. It gets Toxic Chain. It also gets Frisk, which is actually reasonable in best of one closed team sheet, right? Because I'm not going to be surprised by something like a Choice Scarf Miraidon if I bring this in and I see that it has a Choice Scarf. That said, I think Toxic Chain is the more interesting ability for this Pokemon. Only the Loyal 3 get access to that ability, and Okidogi doesn't run it. So I think for the other two, it's probably what I want. 30% chance of badly poisoning. In my personal experience, trying out Munkidori and Pheasantipity in past formats, that 30% chance is not activated as often as I wanted, but it's a matter of luck to an extent. Munkidori gets Fake Out, and it has a relatively fast Fake Out. 106 base speed is not amazing, but it's relatively good for a Fake Out user. So you can flinch something and potentially poison it, 30% chance. I think almost certainly we'll be wanting that. It gets Calm Mind. I think it gets Nasty Plot. It does. It has a usable special attack stat. I think last time I made a video with Munkidori, I just like slapped Acid Spray on it and parked it on the field next to stronger special attackers. But again, that was in a format where its speed stat was a little bit more reasonable. I do think only a little bit more, though. It's probably like Reg G, right? Maybe it was F. I don't remember. I guess Trick. I run Trick Scarf stuff, although I probably don't want that with Fake Out. It gets Taunt. It gets Stored Power. It's a Psychic-type special attacker. Calm Mind could be back on the table. There's not a whole lot in this move pool otherwise. It gets Light Screen, but not Reflect. Okay. I mean, I can just do Acid Spray stuff again. Does Munkidori get... It does get Parting Shot. I thought I remembered that. I do, like, Fake Out, Acid Spray, Psychic. Does it get Expanding Force? Doesn't look like it. Fake Out, Acid Spray. I can do Psy Shock if I'm pairing it with special attackers, right? And I have that physical damage option. Or I could just do a Sludge Bomb. Double down on poison coverage. Let's do Psy Shock, Parting Shot. Probably want either a Focus Sash or a Covert Cloak. Terra Ghost if Focus Sash. So it's Fake Out, Parting Shot. It's like Incineroar, but much worse. But it does get Toxic Chain. What gets Hex in this game? I'll figure out the item later. Right? Because Hex into poisoned targets is kind of fun. Shadow Rider Calyrex gets Hex. So does Lunala. Let's assume I'm running Shadow Rider with Munkidori. The problem is Shadow Rider is faster than Munkidori. So it can't super readily take advantage of the Acid Spray. But maybe there's somebody else that can. Or, I mean, I could run Lunala or something. But Shadow Rider Calyrex is just so very good. I could do Indeedee. Then opposing Fake Out is less of an issue, but my own Fake Out is no good. Let's not do that. Munkidori is not going to show up in Top Cut Explorer. I'm not confident that it's going to show up in Munch stats, but I'll take a look. Oh, it does. 0.01% usage. Okay. Most common restricted partners are Zamazenta and Lunala. And then people run it with Incineroar, Amoonguss, or Shifu, so balancey stuff. And people run it with Ice Rider Calyrex. Fake Out, Sludge Bomb, Protect, Sludge Wave. Okay, so you run it with Zamazenta so that you can click Sludge Wave and get the spread damage without damaging your own restricted Pokemon. And Lunala can also do that with Wide Guard. I kind of like the Acid Spray stuff, but this is pretty reasonable too, actually. You get that nice poison chance as well into both targets. I mean, as reasonable as it gets. I could do Zamazenta. I could do Shadow Rider Zamazenta. Rework the Munkidori set a little bit, right? I don't think I need Acid Spray. Let's do Sludge Wave. Maybe keep Psyshock. I don't think I'm going to have room for Protect. Unless I drop the Psychic coverage. I mean, it could just be a Poison-type damage bot, right? Zamazenta ought to be able to help with that. Or with the gaps in that coverage. And Shadow Rider, right, to hit Poison types. I could just do Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, Protect. I don't necessarily need Parting Shot. And then it was, what, Incineroar, Amoonguss. I think that's reasonable. I'm not sure about Urshifu. I'll think about it. Something has to give in this set, I think. I mean, I have Psychic coverage with Calyrex already. I'll have Parting Shot with Incineroar already. I don't really need it with Munkidori. I could drop Parting Shot for Protect. Double Parting Shot's kind of nice, though. Boom's always an option. Salamence is what happens when you have 0.01% usage, I guess. I feel like this team wants more offense. Like, it wants to rely on more than just the restricted Pokemon to do damage. Shadow Rider, Calyrex, and Zamazenta, what gaps are there? Opposing Shadow Rider is an issue. There's Incineroar to help with that. Scarf Miraidon is an issue. Volcarona is a big issue. Volcarona is a big issue. How can I beat Volcarona? I mean, there are ways, but like, what's a good answer to it right now? I could run something with rock coverage. I don't know what that would be in this format. Not a lot of rock coverage running around. Or I could run like Tornadus and Bleak Wind the Volcarona, right? A lot of them run Terra Grass. I guess Hisuian Arcanine is a little bit redundant with Incineroar. Could run a Golem. Or Iron Treads. Iron Treads would help into Scarf Miraidon. It's not amazing into Volcarona. Not the worst idea in the world. Roaring Moon. I could do Tornadus. If I do Tornadus, then do I want to slot a Rapid Strike or Shifu on here somewhere? Then I can run Rain Dance on Tornadus and take advantage of that. Or I could just do the rare non-Rain Dance Tornadus. Or I could run Tyranitar. But then I probably want if the Focus Sash isn't on Munkidori, then I probably will want it on Calyrex, and in that case, Tyranitar is kind of counterproductive. Is there a good Meteor Beam Mon that isn't restricted? There's our Chalodon. Oh, Iron Moth could be fun. Iron Jugulus gets Meteor Beam. I don't think I knew that. It's also another dark type, and it sets Tailwind. I'm getting way out into the weeds here, aren't I? Okay. I'm gonna say Tornadus. Am I gonna say Tornadus? I said that I wanted damage, right? Tornadus can do damage, but that's not really its thing. What other flying types are there? Charizard, Dragonite, Enamorus, Flamigo. Iron Jugulus once again. Iron Jugulus is very much an option, actually. Landorus is kind of barely a flying type. There's always Galarian Moltres. I did have fun with that in its own video. Maybe this is why Salamence is one of the most common partners for Munkidori. I'm thinking Iron Jugulus, I really am. It might be a little bit out there, but it gives me a better answer to opposing Shadow Rider I mean, I have Incineroar already, but it doesn't hurt to double down into opposing Shadow Rider Calyrex. It's not helpful into Miraidon. That much is true. I could just do Rillaboom, Incineroar, or Shifu instead of this. Snarl. How do I beat Koraidon? I could do Fluttermane. What about like Power Gem Fluttermane? That's honestly not the worst idea in the world. I could do Specs Fluttermane. I haven't used that in a while. But then I don't have anything to boost it on my own team, so probably I would want Booster Energy instead. This is taking a very silly turn somewhere along the way. I guess because I just slapped on Incineroar and Amoonguss without much intentional thought, which is not really the best way to build. Incineroar is helpful in the Volcarona in itself. Maybe I don't need to overthink the Volcarona stuff. Although, I don't know, Volcarona is hard for Shadow Rider or Zamazenta teams to deal with. I could just do Tornadus, but no, again, I think I want damage. I think I want an attacker that is not just a restricted Pokemon. I could always slap on a Raging Bolt. That could be pretty reasonable, actually. I could bring Acid Spray back onto Munkidori, and then Raging Bolt could take advantage of that. It's not really directly targeted to a particular threat, but it is helpful into a lot of threats broadly. Priority is nice. I could bring Acid Spray back. And then I think I'm going to say... Parting Shot. I think I'm going to go Terra... Terra types that people run on this. Poison mainly. Makes sense. Double down on the poison type damage. But Covert Cloak, I think, because I think the Sash is going to go on Calyrex. A lot of Assault Vest Munkidori running around. I guess that's why not so many of them are running Parting Shot. I'll do Terra... I'll do Terra Normal. I can boost that Fake Out if ever I want. Standard Sash here. This is going to be the same set as always, pretty much. This is going to be pretty standard support. This is going to be like Spore, Rage Powder. I think I can just go ahead and fill out the rest. This team feels like it's going to be pretty flawed, but maybe I can have some fun with Acid Spray Munkidori once again. It would not be the first time on this channel. It occurs to me that I never talked about the Raging Bolt set. Well, I think the hope for this team basically is that Incineroar, Amoonguss, Zamazenta, Raging Bolt, some combination of those can sit on the field for a while and drag games out. The Shadow Rider Calyrex probably in a late game cleaner role, but of course this is the Munkidori team, so the idea is hopefully I get some Toxic Chain activations, or even just Sludge Wave poisons, and we can make some use of those poison counters. So with that in mind, I decided a set that I hadn't tried in a while, Assault Vest, Raging Bolt, was probably the way to go here, so that it has that little bit more survivability. It can take advantage of things like Pollen Puff and even Rage Powder cover from Amoonguss. And we can drag some games out, maybe. Also, if Raging Bolt is supposed to be kind of a catch-all, partial answer to things like Volcarona, opposing Shadow Rider, and Miraidon, some Miraidon sets at least, then the extra bulk from an Assault Vest is probably pretty valuable there, too. Otherwise, nothing really out of the ordinary here. I like to run Min Speed Amoonguss as an anti-Trick Room piece, so I am doing that here. Otherwise, pretty familiar sets that you've seen before, apart from the Munkidori. Munkidori is shiny locked. Here's what it would look like if it weren't, but instead it's going to look like this. And now it's time to get on the ladder. And see what the worst legendary Pokemon according to Wolfglick can do. Okay, Ice Rider Calyrex, Miraidon. Did I beat Ice Rider? Oh, it's Zamazenta, right. Ursaluna, Volcarona. There's a Volcarona right off the bat. Okay. Look at this goofball here. What is this pose? They also have a Grimmsnarl and Iron Hands. They can just throw Miraidon at me immediately, and that's a problem. For sure. On the other hand, if I Terrasilize Raging Bolt... it's a tricky position. I probably don't want to do that immediately. I can just lead Zamazenta Munkidori and try to figure it out. Let's do that. I mean, I can fake out Miraidon, potentially. They don't have a Farigiraf on this team. I guess the obvious problem here, and it's a problem that I keep running into in this series, specifically when the wheel gives me a bad legendary and I have to force it into my game plans if I'm going to use it at all. I chalk up this Zamazenta, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Raging Bolt stuff. That's already 4 of my Pokemon, and to even get 3 of them into this game, I have to leave the Shadow Rider behind, and I don't know whether that's worth it. I mean, this isn't an amazing Shadow Rider match. Actually, it's a pretty good one for what you're going to find these days. I'm going to bring the Shadow Rider, and I'm going to bring Raging Bolt, but that means the Incineroar Amoonguss duo is left out. And that is a real problem with building around a janky Pokemon in VGC, that it is hard to find a game plan where it's worthwhile. Here I can Sludge Wave, and I don't want a Behemoth Bash, do I? Because they have this. So I guess I'll just Sludge. I could fake out the Volcarona. I actually could fake out the Volcarona. I might get Munkidori burned, but that's not the end of the world. We're going to Sludge Wave now. Maybe get some poison on them before the Trick Room goes up. I'm going to Sludge Wave. I'm going to Sludge Wave. I'm going to Wide Guard. Zamazenta is really out of position here, though, against this Volcarona. It's very bad. No poison. Overheat Zamazenta. Doesn't KO, so that's nice. Also, if they're going for Overheat, they might not be going for Rage Powder ever. Let's see if I can get a Body Press. That Overheat probably still KOs, right? What am I going to do? Bring Raging Bolt in? Okay. It's Leech Seed Calyrex. I figured they wouldn't go for a Glacial Lance when I just showed Wide Guard. They have Struggle Bug on the Volcarona. The Covert Cloak denies the drop. I was only thinking about Fake Out when I picked that item, but that is a nice plus. On the other hand, Toxic Chain continues not to activate at all, and this is the problem with the Loyal 3. At least 2 of them. Okidogi is a better ability anyway, but like in Reg F, early on I tried Pheasantipity teams with Icy Wind and Dazzling Gleam. A lot of better players than me were trying those teams as well, fishing for Toxic Chain activations off of those spread moves, but it just doesn't activate often enough for that to really be worthwhile. Poisoning the Volcarona there would have been awesome, but we're now at 5 hits. with Sludge Wave, nothing poisoned at all. They just said good luck in chat. At least that's how I interpret this. I'm gonna try to. This is not a great use of my Terra, but I'm gonna try to get some damage into this Calyrex before Zamazenta goes down. This is a high. Oh, okay, now they finally Rage Powder. Had that up their back pocket, in their back pocket the whole time, huh? Awful use of my Terra. Zamazenta drops to Rocky Helmet. I figured I could take another Overheat and at least get something into this Calyrex, so then I could finish it off with Raging Bolt. Now I can't Terra Fairy the Bolt, although it doesn't matter that much in this position. I say awful use of my Terra. I don't know if a better one was going to appear. Sometimes you get into a position where Terra is just not that useful. But yeah, if Munkidori had ever poisoned anything this game, that would have been very helpful. Especially the Volcarona, because it would have dropped one turn earlier. But what can you do? I don't have Protect on Raging Bolt, so they can just fake it out here. I actually think I just go Astral Barrage here, get damage where I can, and then the Trick Room reverses, and I can take KOs. As long as they don't double into Calyrex, which they might, but I think they have to... Do they have to respect the Raging Bolt? They can just Glacial Lance it. Oh well, I think if I win this game, it involves playing aggressively here. So I'm just going to Astral Barrage immediately instead of protecting through the last turn of Trick Room. That's my best chance to deny a second Trick Room. Okay, they fake out, but they don't Glacial Lance, so that's good. That Iron Hands takes that Astral Barrage so very well, though. That's bad. But I mean, I think I can Thunderbolt the Calyrex here. Yeah. No Grim Neigh, unfortunately, but Calyrex is gone. I mean, they only have one Pokemon left after this. It's probably Miraidon. It's not. It's Ursaluna. I don't have a great Ursaluna answer. I guess I'll just ask, or that's not what I meant to do. I guess I'll just Psychic Iron Hands and Draco Meteor Ursaluna. Iron Hands drops. They can just Earthquake and win unless I get some super crit or something. But they actually Headlong Rush into Raging Bolt, so Calyrex does win this now. Maybe they didn't have Earthquake. Most of them do, though. I just have to make sure I click Psychic and not Astral Barrage. Did they Terra? They did. It was Terra Fire Calyrex, so yeah. I think Psychic just wins from here. +1 into -1. I just have to make sure I click Psychic and not Astral Barrage. It also took a bit of burn chip by protecting there. Alright. Didn't really expect that to turn out the way that it did, but that's GG. I guess I am kind of low on the ladder after Regice and especially Raikou kind of tanked my rating in the last 2 episodes of this. Let's see if Munkidori is the Pokemon to build it back up. This person's got a Dragapult. Zacian Dragapult, that seems like a scary duo. And then, of course, their other restricted is Lunala, which is itself a scary Pokemon. They have Indeedee. They can do Psy Spam stuff, they can do Trick Room stuff, but they also have 2 very fast attackers. This absolute goof here, just doing this weird pose, facing back at the trainer. I mean, Raging Bolt is facing me too, but it's not posing like this. Didn't get a single poison last game, and into Zacian Lunala, I'm not sure this is the game to try again. I think I might be better off leaving Munkidori behind this time. I think I might be better off with, like, Zamazenta, Incineroar, Calyrex, and Mungus. I think that makes a lot of sense. Or I could bring Raging Bolt. Let's bring these 3 for sure. Oh, they said good luck, have fun. I'll say it back. Oh, they also agreed to open team sheets. I'll do that too. Banded Dragapult. Yikes. I'm going to bring a Mungus. I'm going to leave Munkidori behind for this one. But honestly, I don't feel that strongly about it. I'm not sure Mungus is all that good here. They did lead with Rapid Strike or Shifu, though, with a Choice Scarf. So Mungus is useful into that, obviously. And what does the Lunala have? Psychic Seed, Trick Room, no boost. It does have wide guard. Probably the best thing I could do here is break its Shadow Shield and go out to Amoonguss. I can fake out the Urshifu. And honestly, I might as well. I don't know why the allergies always hit so hard when I'm recording and not like any other time right now. Maybe it's just a lot of time by the window, or maybe it's because I'm talking. Oh, yeah, they could do that. I forgot. But, hey, it won't be allergy season forever. Okay, I guess I should have just gone Amoonguss there, huh? That's my bad. Alright, let's try to lock in. Let's try to get rid of this Indeedee. Losing Incineroar is really bad, though, into their Lunala. And just a complete sloppy misplay by me. Oh well. It's a long series. These things happen. They just gifted me their Urshifu, though. So things even out, I suppose. Oh, right. I didn't body press Urshifu. I body pressed. Alright, I'm not, I would not say I'm playing my best right now, but there's no but. I'm in danger here. Maybe I can Spore Lunala before getting knocked out. They go Indeedee. Of course, they can't redirect anything right now. There goes Shadow Shield. There goes a big expanding force. Lunala does go to sleep, though. Let's get rid of this Indeedee, and let's get Calyrex in. Scarf Urshifu, though. It just pressures Calyrex right back out. But at least I get recovery on Amoonguss, I guess. I feel like the only way I beat this Lunala, now that I've let Incineroar go down, is to get rid of its teammates, right? And get to a position where it can wide guard if it wants, but it can't win the game by doing that. There's the Urshifu. Let's try to get a KO on that. Still don't know what their last Pokemon is. Probably Zacian, of course, because that's their other restricted. I guess I should... Oh, no. Urshifu actually just survives the Rocky Helmet damage just as well that I attacked it. Psychic Terrain is gone. Indeedee is gone. The Expanding Force is not as scary now. I can redirect one attack from Zacian. Okay, Amoonguss is gone. Zacian should take some damage. Lunala wakes up. I didn't count how many turns that was, but that's not great news for me. Alright, my out here is that they wide guard, and that means Lunala doesn't attack, and I knock out Zacian with Psychic. And then Lunala is just kind of cooked. I didn't play this well, but it's still winnable. But it comes down to my opponent's decision here. Alright, that does not work out terribly well for me. We do survive with the Sash. I'm calling the wide guard again. I think they actually do it this time. I think they think that I think they won't. No, they just attacked. Alright. Astral Barrage, either of those turns probably wins, but... I didn't deserve that one anyway. Okay. On to the next. Miraidon, Farigiraf, Incineroar, Urshifu, open team sheets. This is my own team sheet. Choice Scarf, Rapid Strike, Urshifu. Among Us and Lunala. This one a Leftovers Calm Mindset. That's pretty scary. Definitely going to need Incineroar for that one. I can't fake out Miraidon reliably because I have Farigiraf. Otherwise, hey, Munkidori, faster fake out than Incineroar. I have a Covert Cloak on Munkidori anyway, but I'm just going to lead with my Restricteds this game. I'm going to bring Incineroar for sure. I'd like to bring Munkidori. Gotta get Munkidori to some games. I also, though, would really like to bring Raging Bolt to this one. I think Raging Bolt is the correct choice here, but I'm going to bring Munkidori because it's the Munkidori video. But I'm leading with my Restricteds to put out offensive pressure immediately into basically whatever they try. Let's see. I'm just attacking. Hope it pays off. Of course, the idea behind this team is more about bringing Munkidori in early game, but in such a high-power format, that is a hard thing to justify. And so here we are. Oh, I didn't check the Miraidon set. It could have been Scarfed, but it's not. It has Snarl. I didn't check that either. I'm so used to playing closed team sheets these days. Alright, so the Trick Room is actually kind of beneficial to me right now because I can body press Miraidon before it can attack again. And I'll just go to Incineroar, preserve the Calyrex. Actually, I can just protect this turn. It's a little bit more efficient for getting out of the Trick Room. Yeah, they foul play Calyrex. Miraidon drops to a body press. I think Trick Room is actually beneficial to me there, but we'll see how that lasts through the rest of the game. Because now Lunala is here. I'll break the Shadow Shield if they let me. I'll go Incineroar. Then I can look for a knockoff into Lunala. It's probably Terra Fairy. It is Terra Fairy. I don't know. I can look for a Parting Shot into it at least. They're going straight for Calm Mind. Shadow Shield is broken. They can Terrasilize Lunala. It's probably in my best interest to knock it off anyway because I get rid of the leftovers that way. Then I can think about Parting Shot. This is not a Meteor Beam Lunala. It does have Moonblast, but it doesn't have that extra powerful coverage into Incineroar. Also, if it goes Terra Fairy, I can Behemoth Bash it for more damage. This Zamazenta is like all bulk. I'm not running any speed or attack on it, but Lunala is still not going to want to take a Behemoth Bash, is it? And look at this, they're stalling out their own Trick Room now. That said, I don't want them to get another one, so let's do this. I guess they actually were trying to get Shadow Shield back, but I got the numbers a little wrong if that's what they were trying. They might Terra Fairy. I still want to get rid of the leftovers. And Trick Room ends after this turn, so... Oh, they didn't Terra. Oh my god, my opponent's Trick Room was... My opponent's Trick Room won me the game. That's crazy. Didn't get Munkidori onto the field, though. Okay, yeah. Like I said, kind of low on the ladder right now. Doesn't mean I won't lose to this. I definitely might. I don't know what these Pokemon are going to do. They've got Scizor, Grafaiai, Palkia, Giratina, Rampardos, Raging Bolt. It looks weird, but I'm going to respect it until I learn not to. Grafaiai's main niche is Doodle. It copies the target's abilities, or both Grafaiai and itself. So if I lead, say, Amoonguss, and Grafaiai uses Doodle on Amoonguss, then both Grafaiai and its partner get Regenerator. It doesn't work on Photosynthesis, so Raging Bolt can shut it down. It probably doesn't work on As-1 either, but I don't actually know the list. Also, I don't know why they would be trying to do that with Grafaiai, so it might just be a different Grafaiai set with some other kind of prankster support. It gets Parting Shot. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to lead with my restricted Pokemon. Actually, if ever I'm leading Munkidori, it's probably now. Let's do Munkidori. Calyrex, Zamazenta, Incineroar. Incineroar can intimidate Scizor, it can intimidate Rampardos, it can knock off Giratina, Raging Bolt. They lead Scizor, Palkia. They're threatening Bullet Punch into Calyrex. I'll go straight for... I actually think I'm down to just Sludge Wave and Protect here. Let's see what the Scizor does. I can't poison Scizor. I can poison Palkia. Nope, still haven't gotten a single poison this video. Scizor went straight for knockoff. Palkia set Trick Room. I can switch Zamazenta in, or I can switch Incineroar in. But if I go Zamazenta, then I can keep Sludge Waving. Actually switch Palkia out to Raging Bolt. Okay, so Zamazenta should not take any significant damage this turn, I would think. Yeah, it also, they can't knock off the Rusted Shield, so there's no danger there. Have not poisoned a single thing all video. I'm going to go for Parting Shot into Raging Bolt. Obviously, it's a fast Parting Shot, so I might not pull it off, but I do want to nerf... Oh, Terra Ground Raging Bolt, okay. I do want to nerf that thing's damage. I don't get to because Munkidori just drops to a knockoff. That's, yeah, fair enough. But now I can go Incineroar. I can fake out Raging Bolt. They might not have Protect if they're running Terra Blast. I am willing to try a Body Press into this. It doesn't Protect, whether it can or not. Doesn't quite get KO'd either. Okay. Palkia's back. Let's try to get rid of Raging Bolt and get out of Trick Room. Incineroar underspeeds Bolt. I guess I could have just attacked Palkia, but okay, they have Earth Power. That's good to know. Scizor's back. I'm really not afraid of Scizor at this point, and I think I can also go ahead and Terra Water Zamazenta to better stand up to Palkia. I could burn Scizor. I could Parting Shoot Palkia. I think the Parting Shot... I can knock off Palkia as well. I think I'll just go for damage on Palkia here. They might want to try to set the Trick Room back up. Yeah, they definitely went for Trick Room. It didn't work out for them. Let's see, their last Pokemon is Rampardos. That definitely wants to play in Trick Room. I don't think they've Terra'd. Oh, they have. It was the Ground Raging Bolt. That's right. Alright, let's double into Rampardos. I don't think it takes the Body Press anyway. It's a pretty frail Pokemon. Scizor had a Choice Band. That knockoff is going to do especially little damage, and I don't know why I was going to click Will-O-Wisp there. There's no need, but they forfeit. Alright. That was not a super strong team, but you never know when you see something off meta like that. It can be some weird, scary tech. Even if it's not a good team, it might get you by surprise, right? It could certainly happen. Here's a Miraidon Lunala team with Ursaluna, Urshifu, Grimmsnarl, and Incineroar. I think this is a known tournament team. I can't place exactly where it's from or what it does. I mean, I can roughly figure out what it does, I think, anyway, right? I'm gonna lead Munkidori. Gotta get Munkidori into some of these games. Gotta see if Munkidori can finally poison something, right? It is past time. Let's do Munkidori, Zamazenta. Let's do Calyrex. Let's do... I have had a bad time dealing with Ghost-type restricteds when I don't bring Incineroar to games, so let's bring Incineroar. Especially Lunala, because they can Wide Guard in front of Calyrex. I can't just Astral Barrage through them safely. My opponent DC'd. Usually they come back when this happens, but we'll see. They are almost out of time, though. Alright, they timed out. Oh well. If I get to skip a Lunala matchup, I'm honestly not complaining right now. This opponent has Zamazenta, Ice Rider Calyrex, Entei, Chien-Pao, Rillaboom, and Urshifu, probably Rapid Strike. So big physical spam here. Big physical spam. Not a special attacker to be found on this team, but a lot of physical priority, which is pretty scary. I think Munkidori just gets shredded if I bring it to this game. I think Zamazenta is pretty good here. It does have to watch out for being burned by Entei. Maybe I lead Zamazenta Amoonguss in this one. Amoonguss also gets deleted from existence by Entei, but at least it can protect Zamazenta from a burn for a little bit. Of course, I can't flinch Entei with Fake Out because they run Inner Focus, so I think Zamazenta Amoonguss is the lead here. Calyrex is not amazing here because my opponent has so much priority, right? Qian Pao kind of ruins Calyrex's day. Rillaboom might, Urshifu might. Calyrex is immune to extreme speed, so that's something. Also, Calyrex is my best answer to Zamazenta, so I probably need it just for that, and then Raging Bolt. Maybe Incineroar would be useful into Qian Pao and Rillaboom, but Incineroar is not so happy. Oh, and their Calyrex, but Incineroar is not having a good time against Entei. Urshifu, Zamazenta. I think Raging Bolt's a little bit safer here. I want to Terra Water Amoonguss so that it has a better chance of taking hits. That does mean that I don't get to Terra Water Zamazenta, which means Entei could make me very sad still, but I think it's worth it. Do I Rage Powder or do I Protect and Spore? I'm not confident that Amoonguss gets through this turn even after Terra, so I'm going to Rage Powder. Oh, Entei went Terra Normal. If I land this Body Press into it. They wanted to get rid of Amoonguss. I guess they knew what was coming. Okay, the Terra is actually unhelpful as I turned off my fighting resistance. And my Terra's gone. But I thought they were going to go straight for a Sacred Fire into something. Oh well. What can you do? I'll go Raging Bolt. Qian Pao is a menace into the rest of my team, except Zamazenta. They've used their Terra too, though, so they can't Terra Ghost it. Sucker Punch. I thought they might protect Qian Pao here to preserve the Sword of Ruin. That's why I didn't target it. I get so much damage into their Zamazenta now. I think here I protect Calyrex and I try to get rid of their Qian Pao, but they might not let me. But I mean, I can let Calyrex get knocked down to its Sash here, but they probably have... Or there's a good chance that they have some more priority in the back, so... I don't want to throw my Sash away for nothing. They do just let me have the Qian Pao. They're playing very aggressively with it. And it's actually single strike Urshifu. I guess wrong about that, and I definitely can lose to this, especially with the Zamazenta clicking Wide Guard. I'm going to Psychic Zamazenta and Body Press Urshifu here, but I might just run out of gas. Okay, they Wide Guard. Good thing I didn't Astral Barrage. They knock out my Zamazenta. That is bad. That is, of course, my best answer to Urshifu. The good news is Calyrex's Sash is still intact, but they're probably going to Sucker Punch, and there's not much I can do about that. I can play Protect Mind Games, but I don't want to. So if they do Sucker Punch, I probably just lose. If they don't Sucker Punch, 2 shots of single target Astral Barrage. Oh, they're choiced. Alright, well that looked like a pretty doomed position, but never mind. I guess it was choiced Urshifu. So as soon as it locked into close combat, that was GG. But they didn't have another way to remove my Zamazenta, so they were kind of just done anyway. Once I had my 2 restricted Pokemon against their last 2, because their Zamazenta couldn't take a Psychic. Alright. We take those. Incineroar, Rillaboom, Urshifu. Surely this one's a Rapid Strike Urshifu, right? Especially with Kyogre on the team. Then they have Shadow Rider, Calyrex, and Tornadus. A lot of scary offense here. Definitely want Raging Bolt in this one. Surely I definitely want Raging Bolt. The fact that they have Tailwind makes Munkidori a lot less appealing. I could do I could lead my Restricteds, but honestly, I might be better off with some version of Zamazenta, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Raging Bolt in this one. In fact, let's do exactly that. Do I lead Raging Bolt? I think I lead Raging Bolt. That way I can pressure Tornadus right away if they lead with it, which I think is likely. Just notice this person's username is Wolf Watcher, so they might be a fellow Wolfhead. I guess he has a lot of watchers these days, though. Tornadus Kyogre. I am to see what Raging Bolt could do. I want to just attack instead of clicking Wide Guard here. I'll probably Ice Beam something anyway, right? So I think I'm just going to Terra Water immediately, Body Press Kyogre, Thunderbolt Tornadus. A little bit aggressive, but could be some good damage. Okay, they switch Kyogre out. I get a Body Press into Rillaboom. I'm not mad at that. I do also make my Zamazenta weak to its stab, but anyway. It's Sash Tornadus. Can't say I saw that coming. I'll protect Zamazenta here, and I'll Thunderclap Tornadus, because now they have their Tailwind up, they probably want to Bleak Wind. I don't have to. I can Thunderbolt Tornadus still, in case they don't go for an attack. Or they switch to Kyogre. They'll probably fake out Raging Bolt anyway, but if they don't, this Thunderbolt can definitely damage something. Okay, Thunderclap was fine, I guess, but it's high horsepower Rillaboom too. That's some significant damage to Raging Bolt, but Tornadus is out of here. I only have to deal with the Tailwind once. It only has 2 turns left already. Who's coming in? Calyrex. I can Thunderclap that. Let's go Incineroar. I know I'm throwing away the Dauntless Shield, but I think I can live with that. Let's go Incineroar and Thunderclap the Calyrex. Break a possible Focus Sash. Okay, it protects. They're going to knock out Raging Bolt with high horsepower here. No, they went Woodhammer to Zamazenta, so good thing I switched it out. Let's see if they let me knock out their Calyrex on this, the last turn of Tailwind. The Rillaboom is not so threatening. I mean, the high horsepower is still going to hurt, but it's not so threatening anymore. They knock out Raging Bolt. It was Life Orb Calyrex. I think that crit mattered into Incineroar. I think that Calyrex was about to get KO'd. I think that's very bad news for me that that happened. Suddenly, I don't feel so good about not having my Dauntless Shield anymore. I'm going to Wide Guard and Spore Calyrex, but if they Psychic Amoonguss, that's probably GG. Or if they get a big Woodhammer into Zamazenta, they go Grassy Glide. They do Psychic Amoonguss. Alright, well this was an uphill battle, to put it mildly, once Incineroar went down. It might be helpful if I had brought my own Shadow Rider Calyrex. Kind of get bitten by not bringing both Restricteds again, but Raging Bolt was so good here. I guess I didn't need Amoonguss. I guess my Calyrex... I mean, I still would have had to win a speed tie. Actually, yeah, because they could break the Focus Sash with Rillaboom, so I probably still had to win a speed tie, but my Calyrex would have been a lot more valuable here. I'm still a little bit too comfy sometimes, leaving a Restricted behind. That crit into Incineroar was also pretty unfortunate, not gonna lie about that. I still had to beat the Kyogre in the back, though, after that. Well, anyway. Koraidon, Fluttermane, Incineroar, Groudon, very red team. With Farigiraf and Kingambit. Very red team. This team is so very red. I think Munkidori just gets deleted from existence if I bring it. But I can Fake Out, at least, against anything other than Farigiraf, and maybe that creates an opening for Calyrex. That's the plan. I don't think it's a good plan, but we're going to try it, because it's that kind of video. I guess I'll bring Raging Bolt. I really don't have much for Groudon, do I? I didn't realize this team was so Groudon weak. But hey, Raging Bolt getting Photosynthesis is nice. So I led Munkidori thinking that it could Fake Out Koraidon, but they haven't led Koraidon. So we'll Fake Out Incineroar, I guess, and Terra Dark Astral Barrage. Still no Sun coming in. Calyrex will be faster than Fluttermane. That's what I was covering for with the Terra Dark, is like Sun, Speed Boost, Shadow Ball. Of course, now I'm weak to Moonblast, so they can just do that. What I can do here, I suppose, is Sludge Wave. If I think they're going to attack Calyrex, I can Sludge Wave and switch to Zamazenta, or just Protect. And then Zamazenta gives me some initiative against Incineroar, so let's do that. They go Groudon. Oh, please poison this Groudon. Dazzling Gleam. Okay, but Munkidori takes it just fine thanks to that wonderful poison typing that's oh so useful. Finally, we poisoned something in this video. Just regular poison, so that was, I think, I think that means that was the Sludge Wave poison chance and not the Toxic Chain poison chance. Toxic Chain still not activating a single time. Munkidori just gets wiped out by Precipice Blades, but like so does the rest of my team, so what am I going to do about it? I think I'm just going to... Honestly, let's go for an Acid Spray into Groudon, so that I don't have to worry about it taking an Astral Barrage or something later. Incineroar goes Terra Ghost. That makes it very vulnerable to my Calyrex in the back. And Groudon is now at lowered special defense. I think I could just go Calyrex right now and click Astral Barrage, and there's not much to stop it. Fluttermane is gone. They could have Kingambit in the back, but... I mean... Okay. I'm going Behemoth Bash in case Incineroar survives the Astral Barrage so that Zamazenta doesn't end up doing nothing. If I were confident that this was a KO into both, I would just throw out a Body Press so that I could catch something on the switch potentially, but yeah, I don't want Zamazenta's move to be useless, especially when Incineroar is throwing Will-O-Wisps around. It does just KO both, but they didn't switch, so Zamazenta's move didn't matter anyway. Calyrex gets a +2. Zamazenta's still pretty healthy. Their last Pokemon is Koraidon. It's not going to have spread damage, unless it's running Breaking Swipe, but then it's not going to have enough spread damage. They take the KO on Calyrex, but with close combat, so they lower the defenses. Koraidon survives this turn. Then I have Raging Bolt in the back to Thunderclap it. And that's GG. See, bringing the actual strong, powerful Pokemon like Calyrex, Koraidon, and Calyrex, Zamazenta, and Raging Bolt really pays off sometimes. Obviously, there probably are matchups where Moongus would be valuable. Like, I should be thinking about it more when I face Trick Room teams. Although I haven't had too much trouble dealing with Trick Room teams because I have such a nice speed control indifferent core anyway. But it's something to think about. Here's a Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Urshifu, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Iron Treads team. Alright, so it's... I was gonna say it's not a mirror, obviously, but it's the same restricted duo on the other side, which is always hard for this kind of team to deal with. I definitely bring my restricteds. In fact, I think I lead with them. I definitely bring Raging Bolt, because part of the theory of this team is that I can Thunderclap opposing Shadow Rider Calyrex, and there's a little bit less pressure on mine to win speed ties. And I definitely bring... Iron Treads just kind of wrecks my whole team, huh? Except Zamazenta. If they had a Miraidon to boost its speed, then my whole team would just kind of get shredded by Iron Treads. I built kind of a ground weak team here. Anyway, what do I bring? Incineroar. Incineroar? Incineroar. Probably want to keep the Terra Bug available too if I can, because that's not bad defensively into their team. Alright, well, my Calyrex is max speed. Its ability activated first. It is possible that theirs is not max speed, but most are. I'll go for the speed tie here. I don't need to back down. I'll target a Body Press into their Calyrex to cover for Terra. It's a little bit risky if they have a Focus Sash, then I'd rather have Body Press the Iron Treads, but they actually switch out. So I get the Body Press into Incineroar. That's perfect. They have knockoff on the Treads, so they break my Sash. And the Treads move before Calyrex. Given that they don't have Electric Terrain up, I think that means it's Scarfed. Here's their Zamazenta. I guess I'll Protect and Body Press Treads. They're going to land a big Body Press into my Zamazenta. I didn't Terrasilize. I was saving the Terra Bug for Incineroar. I'm not really sure that that's the most useful thing. Their Zamazenta is probably faster than mine. I don't have speed investment, and that did a lot of damage just now. I'm going to Psychic their Calyrex, covering for Wide Guard and looking to break a Focus Sash. I'm going to Terra Water my Zamazenta. No, I'm not. I'm just going to Protect this turn. They protect the Calyrex, okay. What do they do with Zamazenta? Knock out my Calyrex. I had a super free body press then. I can go Incineroar. I guess this is the time actually to go Incineroar. Bug. Knock off Calyrex and just body press their Zamazenta, but theirs is faster than mine and KOs, but at least then I could get Raging Bolt in with no damage on it. And if I remove the Calyrex, then it's easier for Raging Bolt to go to work. Okay, they knock out Zamazenta. Actually, I guess I should have Wide Guarded there, actually. Wide Guard would have been a better play. They knock out Zamazenta. I get their Calyrex. I need Raging Bolt to beat their Zamazenta now. It is their last Pokemon. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp and Thunderbolt. They body press, it crits, but it doesn't KO. And the burn is actually not really relevant now anyway because I can just Thunderclap Zamazenta. I guess they can't like mess around with Protect games forever with the burn adding up damage. Alright, so that was kind of a scary sort of mirror, restricted mirror, but we got through. Saving the Bug Terra for Incineroar actually did pay off. Would have been a little smoother if I clicked Wide Guard with Zamazenta that one turn, but I didn't think they were just going to Astral Barrage like that. But Raging Bolt was able to clean up anyway after drawing out the Water Terra on their Zamazenta. So Raging Bolt. I mean, Munkidori is one thing, but Raging Bolt has actually felt pretty good on this team. This person likes moths. I was gonna say has moths, which is true, but it's kind of a nothing sentence. This person clearly likes moths. They have Slitherwing, they have Groudon, they have Fluttermane, they have Chi-Yu, they have Miraidon, and they have Frostmoth. Full team of moths. Frostmoth probably sets Tailwind. But it doesn't have priority and it's not super fast. Let's throw Munkidori at this just because I can. And then let's bring Calyrex, Zamazenta, Raging Bolt. They lead Groudon, Slitherwing. Alright, no Tailwind just yet. Slitherwing is threatening a first impression. I don't want Calyrex to take that. I'm kind of indifferent to Munkidori taking it, so let's just Sludge Wave and Protect. They went first impression into Calyrex. Sludge Wave chips a little bit. I finally get a Toxic Chain Poison on Slitherwing before Munkidori drops the Precipice Blades. I am, of course, playing to 3 losses as always. I believe I've only taken 2 so far. I don't always count correctly. But I did, in the middle of this video, add a secret condition that I didn't tell you about yet, which is that if I had never gotten a Toxic Chain Poison in the whole video up to loss number 3, I was just going to keep playing until I got one. But we don't have to worry about that now. What we do have to worry about is how on earth we're beating this Groudon. I guess I go Zamazenta, and I probably Terrastallize it. That loses to Miraidon then, doesn't it? It's a little bit riskier, but I'm going to try a little trick called not Terrastalizing it. Miraidon actually just switches in here. Oh, that crit on Groudon almost KOs. We do then get the Body Press. I'd rather get the Grimnay boost, of course, but Groudon is gone. I didn't have to Terrastalize Zamazenta. They haven't Terrastalized yet either. They can do it with this Chi-Yu, but I guess what I can do, unless it's Scarf Miraidon, which it could be. It could be Scarf Chi-Yu, though. Oh, what do I do here? I could Wide Guard Astral Barrage. I'll give that a try. The Dark Pulse. Yeah, they knew. But that means it's not Scarf Miraidon, so I do get the Astral Barrage. My first thought, though, involved Body Press into Chi-Yu, and I should have done that. Yeah, I think I just lose now. And if I Body Press Chi-Yu there, then I think I would not just lose. But what I can do is preserve Calyrex. They'll knock out Zamazenta. But I guess I could have hard switched to Raging Bolt there. Perhaps I should have, right? Because then I still have Zamazenta in the back. But what I'm going to go for here is boosted Thunderclap into Chi-Yu and Astral Barrage. Nice. Chi-Yu drops. Miraidon will drop to the Astral Barrage. That play worked. Slitherwing will come in. Sun ends, so neither one of us has the boost anymore, but also I'll just Thunderbolt and protect Calyrex. Avoid a possible first impression. They first impression into Raging Bolt, probably anticipating the protect. But we take that and knock Slitherwing out. Raging Bolt coming in clutch once again, and video's still not over yet, but hey, we did get a Toxic Chain Poison at some point. I wouldn't say it contributed a whole lot to that win, but it happened. It's an event that occurred. This person has Terapagos. They probably have Trick Room on the Sinistcha. They have Araquanid, which can be a Trick Room attacker, and it can also Wide Guard to cover their Calyrex, but then they also have Terapagos to deal with my Calyrex. Probably comp mine Terapagos because they have Incineroar, Rillaboom, Fake Out Buddies, they have Grassy Terrain, they have Sinistcha to keep it healthy, so I definitely need Zamazenta for this one. I actually think that I want to lead Munkidori because I can maybe get a Toxic Chain Poison on Terapagos. If it's something like Terapagos and Incineroar lead, I should have the faster Fake Out. I can Fake Out Terapagos and this protects, and maybe I get that Poison. I'll go Zamazenta, I'll go... I'm doing Incineroar instead of Calyrex, but Calyrex is so very strong. I could do Incineroar instead of Raging Bolt, but Raging Bolt is so very strong. Alright, let's see. It's Rillaboom, Calyrex. They're not going for Terapagos setup, at least immediately. Munkidori is super exposed here, and I don't have Incineroar to switch in. It would be really nice if I had Incineroar to switch in. I guess I can switch in Assault Vest, Raging Bolt. Guess that's not the end of the world. I'll just protect. Yeah, because they're doing that. Astral Barrage does some damage to Raging Bolt. We see that it's Life Orb Calyrex, so I don't have to worry about a Focus Sash. But let's double into it anyway. It doesn't attack. It Encores Zamazenta to protect. That's bad news for me. Also can Encore Raging Bolt now and play around the Thunderclap forever. I can't start attacking Terapagos with Body Press right away unless I give up my Dauntless Shield boost, so I guess that's what I do here. I guess the one upside is with the Thunderclap I can, for a few more turns, keep pressure up on Calyrex. But they do actually just let me today Astral Barrage. I thought maybe they would play around the Thunderclap, maybe they'd Encore Raging Bolt, and I'd be able to go for the poison into Terapagos, but I guess they saw through that. Alright, I'll go my Calyrex here, and I'm just looking to get their Calyrex out of here. I'll click Volt Switch into it, I'll click Astral Barrage. I know it does nothing to try. Okay, sure, whatever. Encore Shadow Rider is such a menace, I should try it sometime. I'm looking to get Zamazenta in. Breaking Terra Shell would be nice too, although... Oh, well, there goes the Terra Shell. They win the speed tie. So they get rid of Raging Bolt before I get rid of their Calyrex. I'll knock out my Calyrex here, and then I need Zamazenta to beat 3 of their Pokemon. I don't think that's happening. The sneaky Munkidori switch didn't pay off, and honestly... For all that I'm talking about Toxic Chain being what's interesting about Munkidori, poison damage is too slow in this format anyway. Like, when has it actually contributed much to... Even in the games that I've won... Granted, Munkidori has only poisoned like 2 things in this entire video, but even in the games that I've won, what meaningful contribution has poison damage actually made? There was that one Volcarona in that first game where I didn't poison it, but it would have been valuable if I had. But you're really looking for niche cases like those, right? So, Munkidori. It's a funny Pokemon. It has some things it can do. But this format is just a little too much for it, I think. But you know, I didn't say it because I was so focused on Gen 2, but I had my eye on the Loyal 3 for the last several wheel spins, wondering when one of them was finally going to come up. They're a funny group of legendaries. To me, they don't really intuitively feel like legendaries in the same way that Pokemon like Articuno and Raikou do, but of course it makes sense. They're unique Pokemon featured in a legend. There's not any reason for them not to be legendaries. They're just kind of dweebs at the same time, I guess. But fun to finally get one of them on the board, and honestly, Pheasantipity should be fun as well. I'm not looking forward to Okidogi because that's just not a mon that's ever clicked very well for me. But we're going to try to get through as many legendaries as we can in this series, as always. And so all we do now is come back next time and see which one is next.